ho, 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 and welcome to the Entertainment Audio Show.
I'm Jordan.
And I'm Lane.
It's here.
Yes.
It's happening.
I'm so excited, even though we're both so sick.
Yeah, this weather changes. You've heard us say this a couple times. Weather changes do not agree with us.
No, they do not. And I was fine till about 3 or 4 days ago when the weather, for some reason, it's been cold for like weeks. And then it jumped up to the 80s, and then the next day it dropped back down. And I'm like, you're trying to kill me.
Yeah,
That's what's
same
happening.
thing. Same thing happened here.
Gosh darn it. But I'm not letting that stop us this time because I have talked about this episode literally since before we started, like you said.
Before we ever had the idea of doing this podcast, there was an idea of doing something Christmas related for something.
Yes. Because that's how my brain works. I've thought about this episode probably every day for the last 365 plus days. Which I don't know if it's sad or what. But we're gonna pretend like it's not sad so I can continue on. No, I'm the Christmas guy. Like it's so stupid. It's not like everything in my life revolves around this essentially. My literally down to my favorite candy is like peppermint because it reminds me of my grandfather. He would hide peppermints in his pocket, and because Christmas was always the happiest time of year for me because I got to see my extended. I mean, my family was always getting together all the time anyway, but Christmas was like that time of year that we more of us got together. It was so much fun. What about you?
That's the same thing. Our family's close, so they would always show up for all kinds of stuff. But Christmas was always everybody.
Go a little overboard, but it's that wonderful kind of overboard.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, this brings me into this. I want to get going on this. I want to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
What are your? We made a little bitty outline, but as you know, because of how excited I am, there's a high likelihood I'm going to go off the rails a little bit. But I want to ask you. You were telling me about your favorite Christmas songs.
Yes.
Go for
And
it.
it's pretty much because he asked me to do my top 3 Christmas songs. I was like, my top 3 Christmas songs are the same songs done by different people. It's
Okay. Yeah.
but I do have one more I'll throw in there afterwards. But it's
Ooh.
essentially any version of Carol of the Bells. But Trans-Siberian Orchestra
Yes.
is my favorite. Lindsey
Yes.
Sterling, probably my second favorite.
Oh.
Mannheim Steamroller right there in third. I love that song so much. It's so powerful.
Uh, yeah. I've listened to a couple of her things recently, but I gotta admit, her songs did not make my top three. It might be like my
Okay.
top five, but you said there was another one that outside of those three.
Yes. It's also a cover. It's Pentatonix, Mary Did You Know?
Oh, yes. Okay,
Yes.
that's yeah. That's just like hands down good Christmas song, great Christmas song.
Hmm.
But I gotta tell you, my top three. I don't know, like if you know me, like some of these make perfect sense. At least one of these. My number one is Wonderful Christmas Time.
Okay.
It was actually in an animated movie that I grew up with. It was one of the Rudolph. I think it was one of the Rudolph claymation ones, and they had like the kids singing, and it was just one of my favorites. And I've listened to so many different like covers of it at this point. Um, sorry, but oh my gosh, I'm coughing. Get a little excited. Oh golly. Sorry, everybody at home. I'm dying a little bit. No, but like My favorite is the go to OG with Paul McCartney. I believe is the original, but that's the one that was in the movie. That was the one that was just. It was very heartfelt. It was very wonderful at the time. Of course, now my coughing fit's starting up. But my number two is actually Mele Kalikimaka.
That's a good
I
one.
think Bing Crosby's original version was really good. But there was one a few years ago, 15 years ago now, maybe now. I forget. I don't remember the name of the country singer, but there was a country singer that covered it. And he added that country twang into it. And I absolutely loved it. But I have to say, the Bing Crosby original is the go to. But, oh my gosh, I can't quit coughing. Go Tell It on the Mountain.
Yes.
That is the one that I listen to year round, and I almost don't care who sings it. But Mercy Me's cover is astounding. I love
Very
like the
much, yeah.
rock uptick versions of it. But now we've talked about favorite Christmas songs.
Okay.
I want what?
I do want to say
Oh yeah.
I have a least favorite Christmas song. Actually, a few of them.
Oh.
One in particular.
Oh.
It's a very huge song.
Oh wait, I know this song.
Do you?
Is it the one that I'm thinking of? That
Well,
you've talked about a lot.
I have talked about it a lot, and apparently this song is making an appearance in Fortnite.
Huh. What?
It's Mariah Carey's "All I Want for
Oh,
Christmas Is You."
that's not the song I was thinking it was.
Oh yeah, I think I can't stand that song, man.
Oh,
And
see,
apparently
that's
it's
funny.
making an appearance in Fortnite.
Yeah, it did. It's hilarious, and like,
What did you think I was talking about?
um, hey, I'm gonna text you something.
Okay, we're not gonna talk about that. That's an inside joke.
That's why I thought, but I thought that's where that was going. No, I thought that was the song you were gonna mention. For those at home,
So
I texted him something.
this song is
I
my
didn't realize it
legacy.
was. It is. It is hilarious, and so your coworkers told me about it. So of course, or you did one. I don't remember who.
It's
Anyway,
everybody, I think.
everybody on planet Earth knows about this at this point.
So it's a song. I don't even know who sings it. It's a song called "Jingle Jangle."
Everybody.
Yeah, there's a specific version though,
Oh,
and
see, I didn't even know
I was going to Google it, but apparently there's a movie called Jingle Jangle.
that. Oh.
I didn't know that. Not watching that movie.
Ah,
But yeah, it's a thing where every Christmas, if my friends hear it, and people that I won't even say friends, more acquaintances, if they hear the song, they will message me to tell me they heard that song.
that's funny.
It's Jingle Jangle. I don't know who sang it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I won't make you harp on that, though it is still
I
teasingly
still love
funny
that.
today.
I still love that you brought it up. Like you,
Well,
you're like,
that's
I know
when
what
you
his
said your
favorite.
least favorite song. That was where my brain went. But what were you said you were a couple? You don't like Mariah Carey's. I think that one's hilarious. It's just become so like in the meme universe.
Yeah, it has, and I feel like that
And
when I started, and it's not the fact that I don't dislike it. I feel like it's that it's
overdone.
way overplayed,
Oh, 1,000%.
and I have a tendency if things get way overplayed that it very quickly enters my. As soon as I hear that first run, I'm like, nope, we're done here.
That's so funny.
Plus, you can't walk into a mall or a store where there's this time of year without hearing it.
I just love seeing the TikToks like in the month of October, or like the on Instagram or whatever, people using that like they're standing outside and oh, it's getting cold, and then you hear that riff, and you're just like, ah,
Yes, the
she's
echo riff.
coming.
I actually almost used that in a TikTok I was gonna make when Halloween was coming to an end, but I never got a chance to make it.
Oh man, next time, let me
Uh,
know. If I can help.
Another
If I
song I don't
figure
like
it
is
out.
"Blue Christmas" by Elvis.
Really,
I don't. It's too slow.
that's kind of a surprise.
I don't like slow songs.
Okay, I can understand that. Speaking of
Yeah.
family, mine just walked in. Uh,
Hey, mine are in the other room, so
this is one thing I do love about Christmas. If we do get small interruptions, we apologize, but understand it is Christmas. It is the holiday season. We're all kind of gathering, and we are literally recording this 3 days before Christmas.
2 days before Christmas
Yes,
Eve, depending on where you
2
count.
days
We
before
always
Christmas.
celebrated. Us personally, we always celebrated with the family on Christmas Eve, so that's always where I count to.
Ah, I got you. See, we did both growing up. One year, I think we did Christmas Eve. One year, we did Christmas Day. And then we like bounced back and forth. And then now we actually celebrate. I've got my one of my brothers got married, and he and his wife celebrate Christmas morning. Then we celebrate like one part of the family on Christmas, like early afternoon, and then another part Christmas night, and then another part like in. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. It's we have 5 parts now that we celebrate. Oh gosh. Early morning, early or late morning, early afternoon, late afternoon, evening, and then sometime in January. And that one's with my dad's family.
Hmm.
Um, and so we celebrate. This is why I don't stop listening to Christmas music until like February or March, because I'm still celebrating. Dang it! And you
There you
can't
go.
make me stop.
Hey.
If it was socially acceptable, you would hear Mariah Carey all the way to like October.
Uh,
Okay, maybe not Mariah Carey, but
but Christmas songs in general.
I'm telling you, I listen to "Go Tell It on the Mountain" literally all the way throughout the year. I don't care because that's one of those that like it's a good bop,
Hmm.
especially the Mercy Me version. But now that we've talked about favorite Christmas songs, I do want to segue into Christmas movies. Now, I know you can see on the outline. I've actually got 3 categories.
Hmm.
Lifetime, our top movies of our lives, top movies of our childhoods, and of recent years, or any sort of order you want to do that in. But I would like you to go first because I'm
Okay.
curious to see how our childhoods, especially, because we didn't meet each other until I was halfway through college, and you had been in the workforce a couple of years already, right? Or you just
Yeah.
started working.
I was there for almost a year.
Yeah,
We're in our early-ish 20s, early
huh.
to mid 20s.
Yeah. So the fact that we didn't meet till after childhoods had already ended. I'm just kind of curious. Does your childhood differ in that Christmas movie era?
So, so do you really want to start with the childhood ones before we go to our like top favorites and the recent ones
Yeah,
then?
yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. Okay. On the childhood, and we're going to talk about one company in particular a couple times on mine, and that's
Huh?
Rankin and Bass.
What's
Um,
that?
it's like a company that makes like they made like the stop claymation Christmas short specials.
I got you.
Uh, as a kid, I loved Nestor the long-eared donkey. I don't know if I've watched it in a
What?
few years. You've never seen Nestor the long-eared donkey?
I'm literally having to Google it. Hang on.
It's about the
No.
It's about the
Oh,
donkey that like they rode to Bethlehem.
maybe I have. I'm looking at pictures, and there's like a couple of images that I remember. If I've seen it once, and I hated it.
Oh man.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. As a kid, some of these things freaked me out.
That's fair. That's some
I'm
uncanny
gonna be,
valley. I'm like looking at a picture right now of this little angel.
yeah, that's the one that would have that, and then I'm looking at the Centurion Guard, and one of the
Yeah.
other figures. They're like maybe the old man with the long nose. I don't know what it is. It's something just feels off. And I know as a kid I picked up on that a lot more.
Mm,
And so I probably would have seen it and then been like, that's not for me.
yeah. Well, outside of Nestor, I think a thing I really liked about Nestor is the songs in Nestor the Long-Eared Donkey were sang by Gene Autry, I think.
Oh, I know that name.
It's based on a song by Gene Autry. Did he do the music in this?
Hmm?
It doesn't say.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay, well, it's based on a song, Nestor the Long-Eared Donkey by Gene Autry. Um, but yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I really liked it. But I also, as a kid, I really liked the some of the Disney Channel Christmas movies. Two particular.
I don't even remember those. Jeez.
There was one called The Ultimate Christmas Present. It starred, I believe, Brenda Song of Zack and Cody fame.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
it's
don't remember
about
that.
Santa has a weather machine that he uses to, help him out on the night. And it's stolen, so they gotta get it back. Brenda Song in this movie? Let me double check. Yep,
Dude, you're like
like
pulling them out of nowhere.
I watched a lot of Christmas movies as a kid.
I thought I did, but now you're pulling this out on me.
So yeah, there was
Goodness
that one,
gracious.
and there was one called "Twas the Night." That was I'm double checking my stuff. It stars Bryan Cranston.
Whoa. Hold up. Oh, wait. Wait. Say that one again?
"Twas the Night."
I don't know why, but I do remember that one. At least an
Where
image from that one.
like Bryan Cranston, and he's in it.
Yeah.
He plays like a not great person, as everybody starts off with in Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And they like hijack Santa's sleigh, take it for a joyride,
Yeah.
and and then Christmas shenanigans and hijinks ensue.
Of course. Because
But
why
yeah,
not?
those were ones I always look forward to watching.
Oh, I need to go back. See, you're making me want to go and watch a bunch of stuff on Disney Plus now.
They're on Disney Plus. I can tell you
I
that.
need to. I need to go see them. Huh.
There were a
I
handful of
forgot how good
decoms.
some of these decoms. That's what
Yeah,
they were
right.
called.
And
I forgot.
there were always holiday inspired decoms I really enjoyed outside of even Christmas. Like there was a couple Halloween ones I really liked. There's one I did not like, and that was that Leprechaun one. The Luck of the Irish.
That was like one of my favorites.
I did like it for a long time, but my birthday is St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
So the only decom I could ever watch on my birthday was that one.
So you got tired of it
There were
real
also
quick.
years where it'd be the only thing that would play on Disney Channel those days, where they'd play a marathon of that one movie. And me tell you, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the reason why.
47 times later, you're burning
Yeah,
out.
yeah. But Disney Channel had some really good holiday um DComs
They
back
did.
then. How about you? What were your childhood ones?
See, it's funny because I said that the Rankin Bass, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said that those weren't really my cup of tea, but there was one that was like one of my go-tos, and it was uh Rudolph's Shiny New Year, I think.
I almost put that on mine, but I'm like, I'm gonna not do it because it's a New Year's.
Well, that's Christmassy New Year's. It's both. But
Yeah.
funny enough, my favorite song, Wonderful Christmas Time, I think is from one of the Rankin Bass movies. Or it was in, rather. It wasn't from, but it was in. I'm trying to see if I can find it real quick. But I can't spell. But I'm not able to completely locate it. But out of like the 18 movies that they made, it was in one of those. But
I didn't realize they
I
made that
love.
many.
I just found it on Google. It's the only reason I knew the number. It might have just been Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That might have been the one. But Frosty the Snowman was also always a go-to
Frosty's a
as
good
a
one.
kid. It was
I
those, and then as I got to like young teenager, I really growing up in the Bible Belt, growing up with my dad in the church and my mom like always taking us to church. I really wanted to get into the more biblical side of things,
Mhm.
which is great if you want to. It's wonderful. I found like a live action nativity movie. I think it was just called The Nativity,
I've seen the
and it
Nativity.
became my go-to
Nativity
for
is really
like
good.
years. So good
Yeah,
because
Nativity is really good.
it never felt like, and this was the thing was, it never felt like. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I firmly, this is the way that I see Christian Christmas or Christian movies. Is that typically it's like with Christian movies, you have typically it's Christians that make movies, and so
Mhm.
sometimes they're kind of and then you have filmmakers that are Christians that make Christian movies, and I find between those two, the ones that are made by filmmakers that are Christian, their quality seems to be a lot better because they went through the training or they're actually in the industry. Sometimes what happens is Christians see those gaps in the industry and they go, "Oh, we need to make a movie," and they just make what they can. Which again, nothing wrong with that. It's just I can't really watch those because I tend to nitpick them. I had a point. My brain just completely washed away. But yeah. But I feel like that movie, the Nativity movie.
Now, real
Uh,
quick,
well,
is this the Nativity that I'm thinking of, where Oscar Isaac plays Joseph?
what?
It came out in like mid 2000s, like 2005.
Don't know if that's him. Wait a
It's
minute.
the one I'm thinking of. Oscar, let me look it up. The one I'm
I'm
thinking of,
having
Oscar Isaac played Joseph.
a. Are you kidding me?
Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
I'm pretty sure
Also,
that's it. I didn't know that was him.
yeah, I was early. Oscar Isaac. I guess
Holy
not early,
Toledo.
early, but early. That's before like Star Wars and everything.
Well,
Also,
yeah,
the
that's the one. That's exactly the one because I'm looking at a picture that I have that DVD picture somewhere.
yeah.
Holy
Also,
Toledo.
to blow your mind a little more, let's cross your two fandoms together. The girl that played Mary in that movie, she
Are
voices a
you
character in The Bad Batch.
Oh, you have broken my brain.
Yeah, she played. I don't
Uh,
remember the character's name off the top of my head. Um, but
wait, wait.
there
I'm
was
looking. I'm
she played like a scientist, I think.
not. I'm not seeing it. Oh, Emery. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, Emery, that's the name.
oh,
Yeah,
oh. Oh my word. Okay, that explains a lot. That okay. I have completely lost. Oh, I'm about to start coughing. Called it. I had a point, and now
Are you-
you've side. I
I'm
got
sorry.
sidetracked. I no. I sidetracked myself because you said things, and I needed to Google them.
Well, now
But
that
now
we
you see,
know.
like it, we have.
Oh
But
wow.
that's what was such a good movie is that it had like cinema quality stuff, and it wasn't like straight to DVD. Although I think it went straight to DVD.
No, it was in
Um.
theaters. We watched it in theaters.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember it in theaters. But there have been some other ones recently, and there was one that came out a couple years ago. I still want to see it. It was a musical version,
Yeah, I saw that one.
and it was it good? Do you remember if it was good?
It you it depends on your expectations of the movie. It's that kind of movie.
Oh, great.
It's a lot of fun.
Nope,
There's
I
some
know
funny
exactly what you
moments
mean.
in it.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. When Christians make movies versus when movie makers that are Christians. Again, nothing's wrong with either one of them. I hope people
Well,
don't take it that
the
way.
one that the musical one has one of the guys from For King and Country in it.
Yes, he helped produce it.
Yes.
That was their first project, I think, and then they actually just had a movie come out a couple
They were
months
around the
ago.
same
I
time, I
think.
think.
Oh, I don't know. But then that was produced, and now they have a full-on production company because I think now they've got a third movie coming out with Zachary Levi. Um, but yeah. So, but back to all of this. That was one of my go-tos, and I wanted to make it a tradition, and then we just never could get settled in to watch it every year. And then ever since then, that was when did that? I don't even know when that movie came out, but that was kind of the end of my quote childhood of Christmas movies. And
Mhm.
then it just kind of became a repeat of that for the next few years until I got old enough to watch the ones that I enjoy now. The ones with higher ratings. I hate to say it like
Uh,
that, but that's
yeah,
what
I
it
know
is.
what you mean. I know what you mean.
Um, but this comes into the next area. Uh, I want to ask you about your favorites, kind of recent years or even into your lifetime. What are your
Well, let me do a quick two of my like all-time favorites. Also
yeah?
Rankin and Bass. Year Without a Santa Claus.
Oh,
I don't know why I said two. It's one. Year Without a Santa
yeah.
Claus.
Ha!
I guess you can kind of piggyback Santa Claus is coming to town in there too. But I love
Oh yeah.
Year Without a Santa Claus better. Specifically, the Miser Brothers.
Oh, Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
Yeah,
That's where they come from. I love them.
that's them. Yeah, that's from that one.
Terrified me as a kid, but yeah.
Oh yeah, but fun now.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Have you seen
other
the guy on
two
TikTok that can repeat like that? That's been like coming back and talking about him.
I have. Yeah,
Yeah, he's. I mean, like or like he's mimicking them. He does it so well.
he really does. The whole
Okay,
like
sorry.
mouth's not syncing with the word kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
It
Sorry for
does.
the sidetrack. I get really excited about that.
It's really fun though. I
Yeah.
um other two big favorites are pretty big with a lot of people. Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas
Mhm. Mhm.
and Tim Allen's The Santa Claus. I do like all
Okay.
three Santa Claus movies.
Yeah.
The first one is my favorite.
Okay. Okay. See that? I tend to when I talk about the Santa Claus franchise, I just kind of tend to group it in all together as the quote the Santa Claus franchise. Um, I I I don't really like separating them because I love them all. I love them all. So I
That's
actually just
fair.
bought the mug from the first one.
Hey,
Um,
like the like the silver.
yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't get the metal one, but like I found one on like DisneyStore.com, not sponsored. Um,
Wink, wink.
no, I wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Please do. Um, in case they don't take subtly. But yeah, no, like I found it on the Disney Store website like 2 or 3 years ago, and I was like, I want to get it, but I want to wait. And I waited like 2 days. I was like, I'm gonna go get it, and they were sold out. I was so mad,
Oh
and
no.
that happened like 2 or 3 years in a row, where I was like, I'll get it, but I'll wait, and then I go to get it, and it's gone. I'm like, and then it popped up this year. I don't think I hesitated. I think I was working. I was at school working. Thankfully, my class was working on group projects, I think. Or no, I was on a break. That's what it was. Because that doesn't make me sound like a bad teacher. No, I'm kidding. No, I would, but it was like between classes or something like that. I had downtime, and I pulled up the website, and I was like, "Ooh, oh, cool!" And I bought it before, like, during that break, and I got so excited. And then the rest of the day, like, I'm teaching, like, I'm on a high because I ordered the cup. I'm so
I will
obsessed with
say,
that movie.
there's that scene when she brings him that cup of hot cocoa.
Yeah.
I want that cup of hot cocoa so badly. And I guess that's the
Yes.
way they talk
The
it up.
mug has the instructions.
Hmm.
Sorry.
Wait,
The
wait, it
mug,
does?
it has the instructions on the side. Like in that
That's
fancy
awesome.
way that she says it. It's like in cursive and everything like that. I don't even remember what it says. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it specifically talk like on the side has like the line that she says. Um, not too hot, extra chocolate, shaken, not stirred. Like that is on the side of the cup.
That's awesome.
Um, I'm gonna text you a link. That's
I,
not the right thing.
oh. No, the other day,
I accidentally texted you a title of. Did it again. I will get it
the other
right.
day, my brother actually asked me if I ever knocked Santa off the roof, would I want to take over the role of Santa? And I'm like, yes, yes, I would. For a few reasons. One, I feel like it's a fun job to have, stressful but fun. But
Oh,
also, I can get that cup of hot cocoa.
do it for the cocoa.
Do it
Do
for
it
the
for the
cocoa.
cocoa.
Do it for the cocoa.
All right. Now, uh, I gotta say this. My lifetime in recent years kind of overlap quite a bit too. But I want to say this, and then there is one we want to talk about, and then we're gonna have our argument at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, sorry for those that are curious. You should know what we're talking about. There's one big overarching argument that happens every Christmas for every group of friends ever about a very specific Christmas movie or non-Christmas movie if you're on my side of the fence.
I was about to catch you.
No, but so like my top movies. So I think my favorite Christmas movie of all time at this point is Klaus on Netflix.
I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, my dude! You okay? It will make you feel things you've never felt before. An amount of sadness and about amount of joy you will not feel in this lifetime. I'm going to tell you that right now. But there's another movie called Noel on Disney Plus. Have you seen
That's
that?
on my recent list.
It's so good.
I had it on my
I
recent
s-
list, dude. It's the one. It's honestly because that movie launched with Disney Plus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. Because I
It's
think I saw it
the
in the
one
hospital.
Christmas movie. No joke. There's 3 Christmas movies that I have watched every year for like the past handful of years.
Yeah.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas and the Santa Claus are one of them. I've watched Noel every Christmas since it came out.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's
I
enough to put me like in my like top tops, but enough for me to bring it up. But like,
he
yeah,
I'm gonna admit I think I've only seen it once, but there's this there's one very specific reason it's in my top
Okay.
recent years. I love, as everybody that listens knows, I have a pretty major disability, and I love that there's a child that with a disability in the movie. I love seeing children or adult actresses or actors that have the disability that they portray. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I I love seeing it, and I found out. So that girl that's plays the character with the hearing disability. She has one in real life. She has a disability in real life. I don't know if you know this, but about 5 or 6 years ago or more, I know it's been longer than that now, 10 years ago, there was a Disney commercial that came out where a little girl goes in and she meets Tinkerbell, and Tinkerbell signs to her.
Yes.
That's her.
Oh.
Come to find out, so Disney and this girl have this major connection at this point, and I love seeing it because she went in, she met Tinkerbell, and then when she got a little bit older, Disney brought her and her family back in, and she met Mickey and Minnie in front of the castle, where Mickey and Minnie signed to her as like a hey, like Disney like doing a hey, remember when we did this like thing for their second commercial, and then apparently she fell in love with being in front of a camera because then she picks up she ends up in this movie, um, and then a few years ago she was at or last year or something I don't know, but a couple of years ago she actually ended up in a show. I think it was on ABC, where she played another. I love that she's getting these roles, but she she's starting to become like a full-fledged actress, and it's really really cool because she's getting these roles that they're it sometimes it seems like yes, she's probably getting cast um for the fact that she's got her uh hearing disability,
Mm-hmm.
but there's times where you like you see her in something and you kind of go, "Hold up. Did they like hire her because of the disability or did they hire her and then modify the role?" You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I found her. Well, that okay. So apparently she's actually done a few things. So her parents and her did a thing called ASL Nook. On IMDb, it's listed as a TV series, but I think it was a YouTube series. Apparently, she was in Noelle. It was her first big thing. It looks like, or she was in an episode of a show called This Close. But she was in
Mm-hmm.
Noelle. She was in Bunked, something called Feel the Beat, 13 Minutes, and then the show I was talking about, where she actually had a like larger role, was called The Company You Keep. It was on ABC and Hulu, and it was like a dad who was a known scam artist, essentially, an undercover. It says he was a con man who fell in love with a CIA officer or something, and that's the story. And she plays the daughter. I'm not seeing very many episodes, unfortunately, so it does look like it got canceled.
Mm.
Yeah, because this was May 2023. So it looked like it had a season and then just never got picked back up. But she's like breaking out into the industry, and it's really really cool to see this um happen for her. But I just remember I remember being around when that commercial first hit.
Hmm.
That very very first commercial, and I love seeing different actors and actresses with disabilities. So that's why this movie is in my top like 15 or 10 or whatever. Quite not quite 5, but definitely up there. Um, sorry, I went off on a little bit of a tangent about that movie, but it is. But I also love the Santa Claus franchise. Growing up with it, amazing. Again, I as well always wanted that hot chocolate, and now we're both lactose intolerant. Yay!
Hey, that's worth it.
I will take as many pills as it takes.
Yep. Yep.
Now, Violent Night is one of those
Mhm.
movies. I think it's hilarious because it's
It's
one of
so much
those.
fun.
It's just fun. It's not meant to be serious in any way. And the moment you stop and you go, okay, I am not taking this seriously, you can just turn your brain off and fully enjoy the movie. And Santa and his sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely awesome.
And
But funny.
David
But
Harbour plays such a good Santa.
he does. He really, really does. And for those at home, I'm sorry I've been so monotone, but the sickness is getting. We're both down with the sickness.
Oh,
Sorry.
ah.
Anyway, but yeah. But you also, so I want. We're gonna. Was there any other movie you wanted to mention before I mentioned the last one?
The only other recent one
Huh.
I have not seen the sequel, but I like the first one a lot, is the Christmas Chronicles.
Okay. Yes. Oh my gosh. I always forget about that movie. There is a song that is sung in it. Uh oh gosh, what's it called?
Oh, I don't remember the specifics that much.
Well, he's in the prison cell and he sings with like people in the cell. And I think it's you know I found literally a picture and it's gonna bug me if I don't.
Santa Claus is back in town.
Yeah. Do you remember that song?
I do now, yeah.
That is like one of my favorite renditions of this song ever. Like specifically with Kurt Russell.
Hmm.
It's amazing. And oh my gosh. Like literally when we're done recording, I'm probably gonna listen to it a few times. And then you also have the one from the Guardians of the Galaxy. But that's Kevin Bacon. I'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have to say I
Ooh, that
love
actually
that
brings up
movie
another
for that
movie I liked
song.
a lot. I haven't seen it forever. Rise of
What's
the
that?
Guardians.
Yes, okay. That has one of my favorite Santa Claus iterations in it. But does
Yeah.
that count as a Christmas movie though?
I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen it. I
'Cause
don't know.
it's not really because it just has the holiday people and it follows Jack Frost.
Yeah. So
Now
I
granted,
would count it maybe a winter movie, but maybe not Christmas.
mhm, but I think my favorite like that's got one of my favorite iterations of Santa Claus because he's Russian and he has the tattoos.
Yeah.
One says naughty and one says
Well, it's just
nice.
nice. That's it. It's so good.
Oh, so good. Oh, I did forget a category.
Did you?
I did. I will talk about that in a minute after we talk about our last movie and before we talk about our discussion. But I had a funny category uh that I wanted to talk about for just a couple minutes. But I'll do that in a minute. Sorry. I just remembered something. It's hilarious. And we can either end on that or we can end on the argument. I don't care.
I think we need to
But
end on the argument. It's like the main event.
okay. Well, let's talk about this last movie. If are you ready to move on to that last the one that came out this year?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay.
Okay. Red One.
Red
That
one.
has quickly made it into one of my top 5. But for very specific reasons.
Okay, what are those reasons?
I've seen people mad about this, and I love it. I like seeing Santa Claus as like the complete opposite of what we expect him to be. Because in every picture up until like the last 10 years, he's always been, I think, overweight,
Hmm.
magical,
Hmm.
plump face, and the reason is because all the cookies he eats. But I like how at some point somebody went, huh, he's probably burning a lot of calories. He's probably not fat.
Yeah, it's true.
But I love that element where we've started getting a few renditions of him. Or a couple of our movie Santas are very much not chubby, and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I've also always liked the kind of that tactical movie style. Like I love the beat 'em ups. I love the action movies, and now we have another Christmas action movie.
It's like we're getting a lot of them lately
Yes, and I
that
love it.
that
I'm
involve
in.
Santa.
I'm like loving this though. Like this is my point. Like I love a good Christmas movie, but you give me a good action Christmas movie, I'm gonna flip out because that's like two of my favorite genres. They're just kind of merging. I'm just like the best. Um, you'll literally hear me screaming from the other room. Like I'm like there's a high probability I'm gonna listen to the Christmas Chronicle song again. Kurt Russell plays a thinner Santa Claus because he's burning off a lot of calories.
Hmm.
But I love the idea of the ELFS or the Enforcement Logistics Fortification Security.
Hmm.
And I love if you call him an elf, he gets mad. But I love that. And I love when the boots tap, he shrinks. And you're like, oh, that makes sense. And then he's got the super strength because of the thing on his wrist. And the Krampus and that whole thing. And the fact that he's literally just saying Krampus slap, but in an accent. Krampus
Well, yeah,
slap.
that's what the
Huh?
those countries.
Yes. I know. I know. I love that that's what it is. I
In
love
the
that it's
accent.
literally just
Yeah.
that in an accent. I mean, granted, it's probably that and spelled a very specific way and stuff like that. And I'm just like, that's still really funny to me because that's probably where we got it from. That's when we
Hmm.
call it that. Um, is because it sounds similar. And I love like all the little things. Like one of my favorite things is a line that is said. And I don't know if other people caught up on it. But when The Rock is talking about, or sorry, I don't even remember the character's name.
I think it's
Uh,
Callum.
Callum, yeah, Callum Drift. When Callum is talking about who Krampus is, he mentions that he and Grilla. Oh no, he and Grilla like tormented the Nordic region. I laughed,
Hmm.
and I laughed very specifically because that's where the legend comes from.
Yep. Yep.
I've not heard of it in any other area. So it was really funny to me to see that kind of nod to, well, this is why, like, only this area has a legend of Krampus because this is
And
where he
Gryla. Gryla's a real
tormented
thing too.
people. Yeah, but in that
And
area
Gryla's a
specifically.
deep cut
Yeah. Is it
with their
Gryla or
13
Grilla?
sons. It's something. I don't know. They say both. They
Okay, then.
say both
See,
in the
I don't
movie,
even
so
know.
it's hard to know what it actually is. But that's probably one of my favorite things about that movie is that they go hardcore and some deep cut Christmas lore.
I love it. And the internet trolls.
Yeah.
Just that little nod of that, it made me like lose my ever loving mind. That was probably the first point of that movie where I just lost my mind and like wish I could have paused it because I was in the theater. But I've always loved that sort of like tactical Christmas, and it's funny too because in like half the games that I play a tactical Santa Claus at some point.
Right.
Like
right?
Fortnite, I have my
It,
Sergeant Winter skin. I play Star Trek Online, and I have a character that is essentially Santa Claus.
yeah. Well, that's the fun thing about this movie is that like I love that Christmas Eve is planned out to a T for 364 days a year. Like they
Because they
run
have Boxing Day off. Yes.
simulations, they run Dead Boxing Day off, yeah. But they run simulations, Santa
So
works out, they have everything planned out to a T. They have all every country's got a different thing that locks in for the presents.
yep. And I love that
It's
he's
like
followed
prep
by
and
the
landing
airship.
almost.
Yes, that's why I love Prep and Landing so much too. Oh, okay. Sorry, I need to watch
Forgot
those.
about prep and landing until I was thinking about it just now.
Anyway, I you sent my brain
Also,
down a rabbit hole for a second.
also, wild little side trivia note from an animal expert here. Santa in that movie, they don't use reindeer.
Huh?
Those are not reindeer.
What are
They
they?
are they are an extinct species of deer that used to be called like the Irish elk or something like that. They were like twice the size of a
Oh,
moose.
wow.
That's why they're so big.
I didn't know that. That's actually really
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah,
And I kind
they
of like that because it's like, yeah, like a human would look at that and go, "That looks like a reindeer," but to like the layman, that would be a reindeer. But to like someone that's in the know,
hmm
you
yeah.
gotta
The
ruin
little
that
things
for
I
me,
pick up
man.
on. Hey, they're still deer.
They are, and they're still magical,
They're
and they
still
still
magical.
beat the living heck
They
out
can
of Greenland.
they can jump to warp speed.
I love that so much. I love it's a magic word that he says too. It's not just
Yeah,
like
the
they
word
go. It's
so
like
it's not
he
a
has to
magic
say the
word. It's a
specific word.
Greek word.
Oh,
It's actually a real word.
what's the word?
It's Greek for I don't remember how the word itself says. I see if I can find it real quick. It's the Greek word for we ride. I think it is. Yeah, kavalame, which is Greek for we ride. That's how he
Oh my
calls his
gosh,
Irish elk, or megaloceros is what they're really called. That's their, but they're also known as the Irish elk. But they're way bigger than a moose.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, now I do want to ask. I feel like I'm gonna regret asking this, but when we first wanted to talk about this movie, you said you had some gripes.
I, I did, but also I will say I've watched it twice. I watched it in theaters like the day it came out,
Hmm.
and I saw it recently on
Uh-huh.
Amazon. I will say I enjoyed it a lot more the second time,
Okay.
and I almost wonder because it was originally supposed to be an Amazon Prime original. It was supposed to be on Prime,
Yeah.
but they released it in theaters. And now that I've watched it on Prime, it's like this does kind of have a streaming movie feel to it.
It does. It very much does. I hadn't even thought about that.
But they're
Huh.
my gripe for the movie is they're and it may have helped because it was watching it on Prime. You know, when you watch a movie, especially a movie you've seen before, when you watch it on television, you're not as locked in as
Yeah.
you are in a theater. There were moments in it that the pacing kind of drops and picks up, so it kind of feels long in some moments. That I did
Yeah.
not experience that the second time.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm making weird noises over here. I'm wheezing. Yeah, and I definitely think you're right. And I think I was so like I know that when I watched it the first time, I absolutely loved it, but it was because 100% because of my obsession with Christmas, my
hmm
love of Christmas. But yeah.
Yeah, my
So
thoughts on the movie beforehand. I finished it. I'm like, that's not one of my favorites, but it would probably make the rotation.
oh,
Maybe
it's
not
1,000% my rotation.
every year, but maybe if I have the opportunity to, I'll pop it on. during the Christmas season.
Dude, I'm already planning on buying the Blu-ray digital copy when it hits. I don't care if it's in July. Like I'm buying it without a doubt, and it will be. I will probably watch that in March. Like I'm gonna be real honest. Uh, you know of my love of Christmas, so does that sound surprising at all?
No,
Yeah.
because I guarantee you, there's not other Christmas movies that you watch during other times of the year.
No comment.
See, exactly.
I've never watched Violent Night in the middle of summer. Um, I've watched Klaus in the middle of March, but that's beside the point. Anyway, okay. Was there any other movie you wanted to talk about before we get to the final two big things?
Well, I don't know what one of the other big things is, so I'm going to say no. I only know what the next one is. You never added this thing to the outline.
No, I didn't because I wanted to surprise you with it a little bit because I think it's hilarious. I'm gonna call this segment "Where is Santa Claus?"
Okay.
I think, because it has come to my attention that Santa Claus exists, of course, but he exists within a lot of non-Christmas franchises
Uh-huh.
that I was not aware of initially. And things have occurred recently in the comic book and movie universes that have made me realize that Santa Claus exists by technicality in most cinematic universes.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think we had a small discussion about this before.
I think we did. So we know for a fact, and this is the one that I absolutely love. Santa Claus exists within the DC universe, or within
Yeah.
at least. And I'll say within all of them because typically, by my understanding, Santa, if you exist in one of the DC multiverse areas, you exist in all of them. Maybe not in the same way, shape, or form.
Because Elseworlds.
You exist. Yeah. So we know that Santa Claus exists because he likes to go to Apocalypse. Do you know this story?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Well, for those at home, if anybody's listening and doesn't know the story, Santa Claus plays this fun little game every year with Darkseid. Darkseid sets up a series of traps and obstacles trying to kill Santa Claus. Santa Claus, every year, without fail, gets past all of these traps and these death machines to walk up to Darkseid and place a piece of coal in his hand, and then giddily runs away with Darkseid standing behind him shaking his fist. I've seen this in the comics. I don't even read all the comics. I can't. I just don't have the finances to do so. And it is my favorite thing in DC Comics. But by this realization, Santa Claus exists within the TMNT universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently Batman and the Turtles exist in the same universe. Therefore, he definitely exists. And by that same regard, Santa Claus exists in the Star Trek universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the Green Lantern Star Trek crossover.
Yep.
Because there was that one comic book that crossed universes between Star Trek and the Green Lantern Corps. And because they were able to cross universes, that means that Star Trek is technically within the Elseworld or the multiverse of the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me weirdly happy. The idea that we could have Santa Claus in Starfleet is so funny to me. Because he's like, he stopped at captain, and that's it. and his entire crew are just like Vulcans because they have the pointed ears.
Yeah.
1,000%. 1,000%. Other than that, though,
Actually, there's one other thing, just a tiny little thing I want to throw in here about Christmas movies and the
is it
logic here.
okay? Okay.
Something I've thought
Let's
about
go.
a lot since like college. So in Christmas movies where there's Santa, the adults typically don't believe in Santa, correct?
That is correct.
Where do the parents think these presents are coming from?
That is a very good question. I've kind of always chalked that up to like false memories. As dumb as that sounds, like potentially like Santa uses the magic to like implant the false memories, or there's always this assumption because I know I've heard this before in a show or in a movie where it's always and this helps a little bit with that where mom thinks that dad bought it and dad thinks that mom bought it, but they never actually discuss it.
Yeah.
I know that's happened because there was a conversation that happened in a movie one time,
Now,
and I remember hearing that.
that being said, if the parents are like, "Oh, I definitely bought that," does Santa take out the transaction out of their bank account? Is that how he pays the elves?
That's a good question
Or do they think they just got this
and a
PlayStation
terrifying
5
question.
and a copy of Vampire Assassin 4 for the Switch for free?
Ha! Thank you for that little nod there. That's very popular this year, apparently.
Apparently so. Apparently so.
Every kid on the nice list. I also love seeing the different iterations of the nice list, by the way. The naughty
It's really
nice
fun
list.
to
I
see
love
sometimes.
seeing. Sometimes it's like an iPad, like in Red One, and then
Yeah.
sometimes it's mountains of boxes, like in Santa Claus,
Yep. And sometimes it's a giant scroll,
like in Noel. Yeah,
like in Noel. And I think Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas.
yeah.
Oh,
I think
wait
you're
a
right.
minute. I can't believe I forgot this.
Uh-oh.
One of my favorite Christmas movies, The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes.
How did I
Okay.
forget this?
I don't know because I had it up too, and I forgot it as well. Okay.
It's like the best version of the Christmas Carol. Like I like Mickey's Christmas Carol a lot, but Muppet's Christmas Carol is so good.
Yeah. It really is, and
Michael Caine
it's
is like the perfect Scrooge.
he is, and I did find out why though. You know the
Is it the
story,
thing? I think we talked about this on an earlier episode of the pod.
yeah, where
I
he
think it was
played it dead serious.
he played it dead serious.
Apparently, I found the quote recently, or I found like maybe the interview recently, where he like turned to the director and says, "If you cast me, I will play this as though I'm playing with a Shakespearean company," and they were
Mhm.
like, "Yes."
But
Sorry,
then, but then Tim Curry also played Long John Silver as if he was playing with the Muppets.
but that's what made it so good. That's what made both
Yes.
of their roles so amazing because Tim Curry essentially pretended to be a Muppet,
Yeah, he did.
and, and then Michael Caine was like, "Nope, they're all Shakespeare actors."
But to be fair, just anybody in
It's
Hollywood that is essentially a Muppet,
it's
and it was Tim
Tim
Curry.
Curry, without a doubt.
Okay, but now that I've got those two last little things out, I think we need to go ahead and ring the bell
Okay, ding ding
because it's
ding.
main
Here
event
we go.
time.
So, for those wondering, we're about to have a discussion that may delve into an argument. Hopefully, not a friendship breaking argument.
I don't think
If it
so. I
is,
think
this is the last episode of ever. No.
I don't
So
think
I've
that's going to
labeled
happen.
this. I doubt it, but we'll see. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So this last section is simply called "Die Hard" or "Nah Humbug." So we're both in the discussion of the Die Hard movie, whether or not it's a Christmas movie. But we are not on the same side of the fence.
Surprisingly to me,
Yeah. The guy that's all about Christmas, me, says it's not a Christmas movie. You say it is.
I do say it is.
I am curious. Like, now I'm gonna say this. I will start by saying this. It has been a bit since I've seen this movie. But I need to know what makes you say that this is a Christmas movie.
Okay, because I'm also very curious to why, as you say, it's not.
All
And
right.
I'm going to go ahead and preface this. I'm not saying that it's a Christmas movie just because it takes place during Christmas, because there are Christmas movies that take place during Christmas that I do not consider to be Christmas movies. Iron Man 3, for instance.
Yeah.
It takes place at Christmas. There's Christmas visuals in it. You see Christmas trees, you see Christmas lights. They talk about Christmas presents. I don't consider that a Christmas movie. The story has nothing to do with Christmas whatsoever.
Okay.
Die Hard, on the other hand, does.
How?
The story itself takes place because of Christmas.
Okay. What do you mean?
John McClane, Bruce Willis' character, John McClane, he's
Uh,
literally flying to meet up with his family for Christmas. The party
uh-huh.
that's taking place in Nakatomi Plaza is an office Christmas party.
Okay.
And this whole thing, it takes place on Christmas Eve. But like I said before, that's like a tiny little bit of it. Christmas music itself is woven throughout all of this movie. There's Christmas music playing. There's Christmas music woven into the score of this movie.
Okay.
And that's the gist of why. I could go into detail on all those things in a moment. But first, I want to hear your gist of why you say it's not.
Well, my here's I say it's not because of several things.
Okay. Which are?
Number one, Bruce Willis himself says it's not a Christmas movie. It was in
Okay.
the roast of Bruce Willis. Number two, at any point during this movie, you can remove Christmas, change the holiday, or just completely remove it, and it doesn't change any story element. Because you can still have it could be New Year's, which you still can have a New Year's Eve Christmas party, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a New Year's Eve party, not New Year's Eve Christmas party. A New Year's Eve party, or a New Year's party, or heck, even a end of the fiscal year party, where all of this is happening, and Bruce Willis has flown in. He missed Christmas for whatever reason, but he's flown in for New Year's or for the end of the fiscal year. He's flying in. He's just randomly flying in. It would be hard for him because he's a cop. It would be hard for him to get Christmas off anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I'm like, that doesn't even really line up. But literally, you take out Christmas, and yes, it would change the soundtrack, but not much else. I'm gonna be real honest with you. It's an action movie that takes place at Christmas, but you can literally take Christmas out and it changes nothing but the soundtrack, in my opinion.
Okay,
Because
that gives me a
nothing
question though.
really is perfectly linked to Christmas.
Let me ask you a question though.
Huh.
There's another movie that majority of people you never hear this argument about. That you could do that same thing.
What is that?
Where if you remove Christmas, it doesn't change the movie itself. That you can put different elements in that, it's the same movie. It's a movie that a lot of people say is a Christmas movie, Home Alone.
I, who, you're gonna get me killed.
Do you consider Home Alone
Uh,
to be a Christmas movie?
I don't.
Okay then.
I don't like Home Alone.
All right then.
That's blasphemy. I know, but I mean, part of it is I can see the argument of it being a Christmas movie, but the reason I see that, at least the first one, because it's a family vacation. They go off and whatever, and the house is decorated like Christmas. And the reason he does a lot of the things he does is because of it being Christmas. Because his whole family's there, they're all going on vacation together. I don't even remember where do they go on vacation?
The
And
first
leave him.
one is France, I think.
Yeah. Who goes to France at Christmas? I don't know.
For rich people, the whole family. Too.
Apparently.
Like you see
Well,
that
for
house,
them to
there's no
live in
way
that
they weren't
house
living.
and go, yeah, no. Dad is not above board. But yeah, like that's kind of my thing too. Is when you look at like the like poster of it, it just says they left for vacation. You can't. The only thing that gives away that it's quote Christmas is in like at least the poster that I'm looking at. You can see Christmas lights around one of the windows. That's it. Now some of them, yeah, they're more integrated into the Christmas thing, but to me, Home Alone does not fit that category. Now, that being said, Jingle All the Way,
Mm-hmm.
1000% a Christmas movie.
Well, yeah, you can't take Christmas out of that. It wouldn't make any sense if that was the case.
Exactly. But with Home Alone, you can take it out. With Die Hard, you can take it out. And I think part of my argument as well with Die Hard specifically is it's a whole franchise. Like,
Yeah,
it's not one movie. But if I remember correctly, the first one is the only one to take place at Christmas.
that doesn't change the fact that it's a Christmas movie. The whole
It
franchise is meant to
does.
dictate one. The fact that the other movies are also awful.
That's true too. But, like,
Most people only acknowledge that first one anyway.
that's true. I saw one of the other ones and I thought it was pretty good, but that was during my blow 'em up phase that I never got out of.
Right.
But to me, yeah, that's my whole argument is that Die Hard's not a Christmas movie because you can literally change the holiday and it changes nothing.
But also,
And I would even argue like yeah, it's the same argument for Home Alone. Why I'm not a huge fan of Home Alone because you change the holiday and it really changes nothing. It just makes their tickets to France cheaper.
yeah, but also the fact that there is Christmas there and that Christmas is woven in and these events are happening because of Christmas, whether or not you can take it out or not, I don't think that makes a difference. The fact that it's there makes it a Christmas movie. The fact that the events happen because it's Christmas, it's a Christmas movie. It's not like Iron Man 3. If you took the Christmas out of that, you wouldn't even notice. If you took the Christmas out of Gremlins, outside of the fact that he bought the kid the Gremlin for Christmas.
Yeah, but he could have bought it for his birthday.
Exactly. So I don't
But see,
really
that's the thing
consider
too. That's the thing
Gremlins a
too is,
Christmas movie. So
but see, if you took Christmas out of Die Hard, If you had never seen Die Hard and you took it out of it, you wouldn't notice. It would still make perfect sense,
That's
like
what
the
I'm
whole
saying
thing.
though. But like legit though, if you took the same Iron Man 3 movie and you took out the Christmas elements of it, it doesn't change the movie whatsoever. Like the dialogue
Exactly.
doesn't change, nothing changes.
So are you back on my side of the fence now with Die Hard?
No, no, I'm not.
That's what it sounds like you're saying.
No. Because I'm saying it's a difference in the two.
Oh no, I don't see a difference though.
If you take out the Christmas and Die Hard, it does change the movie
No, how so?
because you have to change things.
But you have
Nothing
to
about
change
the
things in
story of
Iron
Iron.
Man too.
No, that story has nothing to do with Christmas. It just
Hang on,
happens to take place during Christmas because Shane Black directs the movie, and all his movies take place during Christmas. It's the only
well,
reason
that's
that's the case.
actually really funny.
But if you were to take out the fact that you go and digitally remove a Christmas tree from Iron Man 3, it doesn't change anything. Or in the Christmas lights from Iron Man 3, the
Well,
story itself doesn't change. You have to
it
change the story
does
of Die
because
Hard.
they give presents to each other, don't they?
It's talked about. We don't technically get to Christmas though. The bunny's her birthday present, I think.
I thought the bunny was a Christmas present.
I thought it was. I did look at. I haven't watched Iron Man 3 in years, but like what
Same.
I'm saying is, you
It's hard
actually
to make an
have to
argument when we
change.
haven't seen the movie in a while.
Yeah, but the fact about Die Hard is you actively have to change the movie.
But not really. Like you're changing the one element and you're changing the soundtrack. If you don't
Yeah, but
count
then you still have to
soundtrack,
change the fact. You have to change the reason why he's coming. You have to change the reason for the Christmas party. You have to
not
change the
really.
reason for all these
He's
things.
coming
It
in
does change the story.
he's coming in to see his family. It doesn't
Or
really
Christmas.
change that. Take out the last two words and you're set.
Yeah, but you still have to change the story.
The two words.
Yeah, it's an important two words.
Oh my gosh. I knew this is where this was gonna go. We were gonna. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's
The important part of this argument is: do
that
you
you're
think it's a
wrong
Christmas
and I'm
movie?
right.
It's a Christmas movie. If you want to watch it at Christmas, watch it at Christmas.
Okay,
If you want to be
I
wrong, like
will.
Lane,
I was gonna agree with you up until you said that. Hang on.
that was a joke. That was a joke. But
Sure, it was.
I'm
I
sitting here. If
firmly
you don't
believe
think it's a
that.
Christmas movie, because this part was Lane's idea.
Oh, 1,000%. Because I knew we were gonna have some kind of discussion about this one day. And I was like, might
Because
as well
I
record it.
honestly say, if you don't want to watch it for Christmas, if you don't think it's a Christmas movie, what do you do you? If you
I'll
do
say
think it's a
this.
Christmas movie, you do you.
I'll say this. I tend to. I'm starting to see movies a little differently now that I'm older. I'm starting to see it like I see Star Wars. If you get something out of it that I don't, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to watch it again, that's fantastic. They can make money off of you, or they can get your streams off of you. They won't get them off me, but and again, nothing's wrong with. I honestly I've seen both the TV version of Die Hard and the streamed version. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I kind of like for the stupidity of it. I like the TV version more because all the bad words are dubbed.
The funny way they do it.
And the fun way that they do it, where you can clearly see the lips moving in a very specific way, and it says something else, like
Yeah.
fudge.
Yeah.
I love that. And to me, that movie, and it also had some scenes in it that I didn't really care for, early on. I don't even know if you remember, but yeah. So I like that. I'll say for the sake of this, I still don't think it's a Christmas movie. But if you want to watch it, like you said, if you want to watch it, go for it.
Yeah. If you think it's a
I
Christmas
agree with
movie,
you.
go for it.
I
If you're on
definitely
my
agree
side
with
of the
you.
fence, enjoy your Christmas
If you're
movie.
wrong, if you're
on
wrong,
Lane's side
enjoy
of the
your
fence,
Christmas movie.
enjoy your action movie. I'm going to
I'll
enjoy
give
my
you.
Christmas action movie.
I'll just watch Red One instead, and then I'll enjoy my Christmas action movie.
Well, you do enjoy that movie better than I do, so.
I do. I've already watched it twice and started a third time. So
I mean, I've watched it twice too, but
I hate to say it though. It took me 3 times to get through it the second time because I kept having to stop to do something, and then come back like the next day and finish it. I was so upset. Now I want to go watch it again. So On that note, again, I apologize. We've been kind of both sick. And I've been coughing up a storm during this. I'm not as energetic tonight as I normally am, so I apologize. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about, Jordan?
No, that was about it.
Was that English? What'd you say?
So no, that was about it.
Sorry. In my
So I
brain,
shuffled mode.
I just heard nah, nah, nah. And I
That
was
was
just
also
like,
like through my stuffed nose.
yeah. Both of us having stuffy noses, we're not as energetic as we normally are.
And
I'm
the fact that I just
sorry.
got home from work, a job where I talk. So
That's true too. And I've done nothing all day, so that helps me not at all. Yeah. Hopefully this will entertain you still. We should be coming out with some new episodes soon, once per month, per usual. Hopefully.
our
Um,
year-end wrap-up should be coming soon.
yes, it will. Uh, it'll be like the new year, the new year, new us. Hopefully, no. I'm not changing. Who am I
No, so
kidding?
what are we talking about?
Um,
We're 32 years old. We're beyond that point now.
no, yes, exactly. I don't. I enjoy my life. I enjoy who I am. I enjoy my friends. Well, we hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. Um, we love you all. And to
Thanks for
all.
joining us.
Oh, wait, I can say this. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night. Have a
Ooh.
good one, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.